So, Tom, you kind of knew this day was coming Monday. Did you think it was going to be an almost unanimous vote?
I was surprised. And I was surprised who the one dissenting vote was. Miami, of all places. I mean, I don't even get that one. I thought the dissenting vote would be Mike Brown. He always votes against everything. But I don't know. It just. But anyway, it's kind of a sad and exciting day for me. Sad because I started out with the Raiders back in the AFL days, and so I've been. I think the Raiders belong in Oakland, but unfortunately, not going to happen.
Are you going to Vegas?
Well, I'm not going to go. I just fly in for the games anyway. I live in Palm Springs right now, and so I just fly in for the Raider games. But when I fly into Oakland, it brings back many memories when you fly in there and see all the people and game day and all the crazy people in the parking lot. It's Halloween every Sunday there.
And Halloween, they say, would be moving to Vegas as well, but it seems to me they're just relying too much, Tom, this is my opinion, on the idea that fans are going to get on a plane. And I've never actually heard from the Raiders what percentage of people in the Coliseum on an average Sunday are people that got off the plane off a Southwest flight that morning and walked over or took the bus over. Do you have any idea what that number is?
No, I don't. I'm sure they do, but I don't. But I know there's a lot of them because I've flown up at times on Saturdays through and been the planes that I've flown up in were maybe 3/4 full of Raider fans.
Right.
And then game day that morning, a lot of them fly up from L.A. and so it's going to be different. There's no question because. It's not going to be. We know how will the black holes, how will that transform or change? The great people that barbecuing in the parking lots before the games. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going to have to change.
It's great. Tom Flores joining us on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm Andrew Siciliano. I think it's going to be awkward. I was talking to Donald Penn yesterday, and he knows it's going to be awkward. This is unprecedented. The Browns didn't leave or announce they're leaving and stay in Cleveland for 2 years. The Colts didn't announce they're leaving and stay in Baltimore for 2 years. Same goes for the Rams or the Cardinals or anyone else who has moved. This is going to be unprecedented and awkward. Do you think people will stay away? Do you think people will just say, Tom, my heart hurts too much. I know this is a good team, but I just can't bear to go.
Yeah, I think so. I think some will. How many, time will tell. And a lot has to do with how good the team is. And right now the team's pretty good and on their way up. But still, there's some going to be angry, some are going to be sad, some are going to be in between, and some will stay away. And some people, there'll be seats available for those that have maybe never been to a game before and have a chance to. But it's going to be different. When we moved to L.A., and I was the head coach then, we had a place to play immediately, the Coliseum. But the first year there, we actually practiced in Oakland and played in L.A.
But
That's a possibility, yeah.
Do you think it's going to be tenable? Do you think they're going to have to find an interim home, or you think 2 years in Oakland actually could work, Tom?
Well, there again, I think if the team is winning, then people are going to want to come and share that part of it. You know, the Raider fans are unique in that respect. They're all over the country, wherever you go. But how many? I don't know. I can't answer that. I really can't.
So in other words, it almost, and I hate to use the more pressure cliche because I don't think there's any more of a cliche in sports than how much pressure is on your team because of X or Y. But in essence, it's you better win because if you don't, it could get ugly.
Well, the just win, baby, cliche, but Al Davis quoted years ago, that's going to really come into play this year.
Tom, what do you think Al would have thought of this?
I think he would have been for and against. He loved Vegas. He always did like Vegas, and I think he probably thought that someday there would be a franchise in Vegas. He had a lot of vision for the future, so he would have probably embraced it maybe at some point. But at some point, you have to realize, hey, Oakland, that place is falling apart. I mean, it's just crumbling.
It's crumbling. San Diego's Qualcomm was crumbling. They had to get stadiums, however they would do it, for both of those teams, and now both of those teams are relocating. If you were still the coach, Tom, pretend you're the coach again, how would you deal with players in Vegas? How would that work?
Well, you're not going to change what you do on within the complex in a compound. I mean, between the compound within the compound of your team, where you practice, where you meet, and all that doesn't change because it's still football, and you're still, the field is still the same length. And they're going to have a dome stadium and all that stuff. What's going to change is what you do on your spare time. That's going to be uniquely different, and that you have to address with the players. And players have changed a lot since I was coaching. When we went to L.A., they changed, and eventually they started changing their personality a little bit, not so much on the field, but off the field. And it's going to be a big change for them. They're going to have to make some adjustments, and along with the guidance from the league, and where you go and where you don't go, and how you behave.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.